Okay, so now we are going to discuss on from section 43 to 53, grants of patents and right conferred thereby. So again, I request you to please read the sections as given in the Patent Act. Here, what I have done is that I have summarized it very in simple language, in my language, so that it is easy for you to grasp and understand without much difficulty. But do not rely on this. Okay, please read simultaneously the actual line-to-line words as it is given there. What is going to help you here is like it is going to save a lot time from your side, because here I have compiled everything: sections, form, fees, rules, and summarizing. So a lot of time I have spent for you, and you can take advantage of this. And therefore, I expect everyone should qualify patent agent exam 2022. There is you cannot make excuse now. Previously, we are just reading from this text, and I realized that this is difficult for many of you to follow and make a note, and then you miss, and then you don't feel motivated to read. But now I think you can see that in one page, few lines, everything is summarized and very simple language. So you should attempt it very hard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes.
I feel that reading the old format, whatever we are following, that would be more useful compared to this. This is what I'm realizing now. I don't know, because this is very crisp. I know that, but this is going a little bit faster. In that case, each line by line we are going, and then we are understanding the things. That's great. I just feel. I don't know what about others. So we can take one who are supporting old format and new format, and then accordingly we'll go forward.
Yeah. What I would say, what I would suggest that what you do, that you read the line yourself after this session, and then see read the summary. That will help. Okay, because when you read the section yourself, there you will see that rule is not mentioned. You will see the fees are not mentioned. Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, many things are not mentioned there. Okay, so you read it, you understand what is given there, and then if you just listen to this recording, or you can pause the recording, right? You don't have to listen to the recording. You can pause the recording in this page itself, and then read yourself, make your notes. That will be very useful, right? Then you can make connection with both of these. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll follow this pattern only. I have prepared these slides up to the licensing part, and I plan to prepare similar slides for entire act. So you will have these slides, but I'm not going to share the slides with you, because I see that there are some spelling mistake or something, wordings are here and there. So I don't want you to rely completely on what is written here. But if you listen the talk, then that is correct. I mean, there I'm giving the correct things, but reading my sentences is not the proper way to read, right? It is just a summary one, right? You cannot rely on these sentences. So it is better to rely on the exact sentence given here, and then you see that after reading the exact sentence here, the summary that I have given is matching or not. If feel it is not matching, you can anytime have discussion with me. Okay, even after we have finished the session, you have my phone number and email ID. You can call me, and we can discuss anytime, and you can say that this is not correct. We can discuss. Okay, so section 43, grant a patent. So, and if you see here 1A, B, 2, I've given it here. If I write 1A, B, that means section 43, 1 A and B is like that. And if I'm not giving section 1A, B or 2 like this, then it would mean that I am not asking any, there is no 1A, B like this in the section. I'm just giving a summary. If you see 1AB, 2, that means section 43, 1AB, section 43, 2, like this. And for section 44, I have not given 1AB, 2 like this. It means there is nothing like that in the section. You can just see in the main text. So what it says that grant of patent. One, if patent has been found order for grant, in order for grant, okay. A says the application has not been refused, okay. So in actual language, it reads like this: where an application for a patent has been found in order for grant of the patent, and either this or this is not there, means application has not been refused under section 15, okay. Under section 15, controller has right to refuse the patent or ask for amendment, or application has not been found to contravene the provision of this act, so it is not contravening. So if these two conditions are clear, patent shall be granted. And once the patent is granted, a seal of patent office is there, and the date on which patent is granted shall be entered in the register. So in a register, they enter a date on which the patent is granted. So that is the date of grant of patent. Okay. And on the grant, what happens after once it is granted? So patent is granted, and a date is mentioned, and a seal is there. Controllers have published the fact the patent is granted. So controller published, and thereafter publication, a specification, and other documents related shall be open for public inspection. So everything is open for public specification. Okay. And if you want to request for the inspection of the documents, okay, then you may to pay 320 rupees for naturals and 160 for others. And patent are given serial number, okay. This patent given serial number. So according to rule 37, you can refer to 37 how the detail is given there. And patent certificate is issued within 7 days from the date of grant. So according to rule 74.2, it says that patent certificate will be issued within 7 days. So if the question is asked, the patent certificate is issued within 10 days, 1 month, 12 days, 7 days. The answer is 7 days. Okay. So this is the point. This is the question is given. Okay. And what is the date of grant? So grant of patent date is that date on which it is entered in the register. Okay. The register is entered. So they just enter on this date is granted, and that date is mentioned. So that is the date of grant. Section 44, amendment of patent granted to deceased applicant. Okay. So if after the grant of patent, okay, patent is granted, the person to whom it was granted dies, okay, or a corporate has ceased to exist before the patent is granted. So a corporation was filed, a corporation as a corporate, they filed the patent, but before the patent is granted, the corporate was dissolved, or they filed bankruptcy, or that dissolved, and there's no ABC Private Limited, the company doesn't exist, but directors are there, director is there, but the patent application was filed as a corporate before the grant, they cease to exist. Controller can amend the patent by substituting the name of person to whom it should be granted. So they can amend. So what we need to do, field form 10, refer to rule 75, and the fee of 2,400 and 12,000 for others is required. So if that case is there, then they can amend the patent which is granted. So either they can remove the names, or they can change the names. If the corporate is there, we say this corporate doesn't exist now, and we want to remove this corporate name. So for example, ABC Private Limited was there, and before the grant, that companies no longer exist, but the directors and others, inventors, they exist. So you can, if the patent is granted the name of ABC Private Limited and that doesn't exist, so I want to change that, and I want to say that please make it in my name only, or who is the inventor or director, whatever the case may be there. So you want to in their name. So that will not happen automatically. You need to fill form 10 and pay the fees, and this amendment will happen. So this question is asked from section 44. So amendment pattern granted to disease applicant under section 44. So sometimes the section can be asked, and sometimes the scenario is given that in paper 2 especially, that a person dies, and then what need to do. So you just say that fill the form 10 and pay the fees and what are details there, and then it can be done. Only this much. Okay. So move ahead. 45, date of patent. So patent is dated as the date on which the patent for application is filed. So this is a grant and date of patent. Date of patent is on which it is filed. So that date, when it is filed, filing date is given, and that is the date of patent. And date of patent register according to section of 45(2), all the data register. And 45(3) says no suit or other proceeding shall be commenced or prosecuted in respect of infringement committed before the date of publication of the application. Okay. So any infringement that was committed before the publication of the application, okay, you cannot proceed for the infringement suit. Okay. Now you will realize the importance of section 11, section 11A(2). Okay. Section 11A(2). Can anyone tell what it is? Section 11A(2), what it says?
The applicant may, in the prescribed manner, request the controller to publish the application, his application at any time before the expiry of period prescribed under subsection 1st and subject to the provision of subsection 3, and the controller shall publish such application as soon as possible.
So what did you understand from this? Okay. Yes, please. So section 11A(2), it says that according to 11A(1), the application is published after the 18 months. Okay, according to rule 24, it is published after 18 months. But if I want to get it published before 18 months, then I need to fill form 9, okay, and pay the fees. It is 2,500, or as the case may be, for the nature and the corporate, and then it gets published. Okay, it gets published. So that is a requirement. So why they want to get published earlier? Because they cannot file for any infringement case before the date of publication of application. Clear now? Clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is one case that there could be many other scenario where you would like to get your application published before the expiry of 18 months. Many times they feel that this 18 months period is good because my application will be hidden. No one will come to know. That is the case. But there are many scenarios, as I told you. If you feel that someone is infringing your patent, okay, then you want to as soon as possible you want to sue them in the court. But that you cannot do before the date of publication application. Therefore, you would like to get the application published as soon as possible, and because after they get published, then you can go for infringement suit. So no suit or other proceedings shall be commenced or prosecuted in respect of infringement committed before the date of publication application is according to section 46 or 45. What is the answer? Yes. So the question is that no,
Section 45(3).
correct. 45(3) is the correct answer. So you can get a question like this. And if the question is it says that your client says that you are a patent agent, and a client comes to and say that we want to proceed for infringement proceeding for a patent application, and we see that this person is infringing, then as a patent agent, what would you suggest? Can anyone tell the answer with proper sections and rules and form and fees? So the question is, you are a patent agent and a client comes to you saying that we have filed a patent, okay, but it is not yet published. We are waiting for 18 months to get published, but we want to file an infringement suit for this person. Then as a patent agent, what would you suggest?
According to section 11A2, the application should be published before any infringement case, according to section 45(3).
Correct. Published. Then what you suggest to a client?
You should first publish your application. Early publication should be requested according to section 11A2.
Yeah. So
And
you need to give a guidance, na? You can't say that it should be published.
yes.
So you need to guide. You need to say that let us fill form 9, and you pay the fee of 2,500, and then your application will get published. And the date on which your application get published, after that date, we can go for infringement suit. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how your answer should be. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So once
for early publication.
Yes, please.
Form 9 is for early publication.
Correct. Form 9 is available publication, and the fees is 2,500 for natural person. And let me check what is the fee for others. What is fee for others? Form 9. It is 12,500 for others. 2,500 for the natural person and 12,500 for others. So your suggestion would be, you can say that, dear friend or the client, you cannot go for proceeding according to section 45(3) before the date of publication of your application. Therefore, our criteria should be to get our application get published. Okay, and because 18 months has not passed to get our application published, according to section 11A2, we can 11A2 we can fill form 9 and pay the fee of 2,500 or 12,500 as the case may be. And then once it is published, then we can file for infringement suit. So this is the answer you should write. But if you don't remember, you just have the idea that this is the case, it should be published, then you can go. And if you write the answer like this, we cannot go for infringement suit before the publication of the application. Therefore, we should get our application published, and then we will file the infringement suit. Here you have the idea, but you have not mentioned any sections, any form, any fees. Then you may not get any marks for this answer. Although you have answered the question, but you will not get marks. Or I don't know if they give some grace marks of 1 or 2 or half a mark, but ideally they will not give any mark. Okay, so idea is correct, but you fail to mention sections, forms, and fees, will not get marks. Okay. Section 46, it says form, extent, and effect patent. So section 46(1), patent has effect throughout India, and patent is granted for one invention only. If a patent is granted for more than one invention, no one person can make any objection in any suit or other proceeding. Okay. So if the question is asked like this, that a patent is filed and the patent contains more than one invention. Okay, can we make any objection? Yes or no? Can the patent be revoked? Can you file
No.
any oppositions, pre-grant, post-grant oppositions? Yes or no? Did you understand my question?
No, sir.
Huh? My question is like this. If a patent application is published which has more than one invention, can you oppose that invention based on this criteria?
No.
Can you oppose the invention saying that this patent is not valid because it has more than one invention?
Yes, sir. Can oppose.
Hmm?
We can oppose as per section
Division.
42.
No, this is not correct. It is written here clearly. If a patent is granted for more than one invention, no one person can make any objection in any suit or other proceedings.
But sir, one question I have. In any country, including India, for one invention, there is patent can be granted for only one invention.
Correct. According to section 46(2), if you read, a patent is granted for one invention only.
Yes. So how is it possible to, any patent can be granted for more than one invention?
Correct. So it may happen by mistake. Okay, means examiner they fail to identify that there are two inventions. Okay, okay. So while they're examining, they could not understand that there are two inventions, but you found out that there are two inventions, but this cannot be a criteria for any objections.
Okay.
Okay. Criteria for oppositions are only those we discussed in section 25(1) for pre-grant and 25(2) for the post-grant.
Post-grant.
Okay, so they have given a list of criteria: wrongful obtainment, not patentable, existence of prior art, traditional knowledge. Okay, so these things are the criteria that are given. Only for opposing, you can cite only those criteria. Okay, and again for revocation, there are another set of criteria grounds. Okay, there patent granted for more than one invention, this is not a criteria. Therefore, if a question is given to you that a patent is granted which has more than one invention, can you oppose the patent on this? Can you make any objection on this in any suit, either for infringement or for invalidity study or opposition? So answer is you cannot do this. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. So section 47. Okay. Grants of patent to be subject to certain conditions. Okay. So many times these questions are asked that what are the conditions on which patent is granted? So you need to write the entire section 47. Okay. So 47(1) it says government can use the invention or import patented invention for its own use. So please remember, only for its own use government can do this. Okay. Patented process can be used by government for its own use. If the patent is for product, they can use the invention, they can import the patent invention, and if the patent is for a process, government can use it for their own use. Patented invention can be used merely for experiment or research, including imparting instruction in schools and colleges. And for patented drug, government can import patented drug for its own use for distribution in dispensary and hospitals. So if there is a patent on drug, then government can import the patented drug and distribute in government hospitals. They can do it. And you cannot go and sue case against government. So this is the condition one has to agree before you file a patent. So your patent is granted based on this condition only. So these are the conditions. There are 4 conditions, 4 sections, 4 subsections of section 47. So in simple term, you can remember that government can use your applications. Okay, they can use your invention, they can import and also another exception is patented invention can be used for experimentation, including imparting instruction to in university college. So question to you, all of you, is if a professor in a school or any institute is discussing about a patented information for imparting information to the student, can you file a case against the professor?
No, according to section 47(3).
Yeah, you cannot file a case because it allows us for teaching and for experiment or research. Okay, if the patent is there and you take the patent and you are doing research in the R&D lab, that is also allowed for research and experiment. That is allowed. Okay, that we can do. That is also, no one can put any court case on you. So remember this section 47, very simple. If you read this from here line by line, it is very lengthy sentences. Okay, let me read section 47. The grant of a patent under this act shall be subject to the condition that any machine, apparatus, or other article in respect of which the patent is granted, or any article made by using a process in respect of which the patent is granted, may be imported or made by or on behalf of government for the purpose merely of its own use. With long sentences, I have summarized in very simple language. Government can use the invention or import patented invention for its own use. Okay, and patented process can be used by government for its own use, and patent invention can be used merely for experiment or research, including imparting instruction to pupil students. And if it is a patented drug, government can import patented drug for its own use for distribution in any dispensary or hospital. For example, a US company. Okay, now question to you: a US company has filed patent on COVID, okay, or Omicron. They have filed a patent on Omicron, on a new drug has been released on COVID or Omicron, and the US company has filed the patent, and they have filed patent in India also. Can government import patented drug for distribution in government hospital? Yes or no? Or what is the criteria? Did you understand the question?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand my question?
Yes, sir.
What is your answer?
They will not directly using that drug in India because they want to take a permission from US also, I think.
It says the government can import patented drug for its own use. They can import in India.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, the drug is patented in India. Okay, so I cannot import drug. Any other Cipla or any other companies, they cannot import drug in India for their use, but government can do this. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Please ask question, or
Prem, this is irrespective of whether patent is granted or not. That is not necessary, right?
no. Whenever they say patented means it is granted.
Granted. Okay.
So am I going very fast or it is okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Don't wait to. I mean, if you are thinking that this session is going to load and will listen a second time, don't wait for that time. If we have any doubt or any question, ask it now and we can discuss. Section 48, rights of patentee. Okay. So what are the rights of patentee? So this is also a very good questions, which is always asked in interview, or you may get many questions in paper 1 or paper 2. What are the rights? Patentee has exclusive rights. For what? Okay. Patentee has exclusive right for what? To prevent third parties who do not have his consent from. What are the things you have the right? So patentee do not have a right to manufacture. If you file a patent, if I file a patent for manufacturing a drug, do I have a right to manufacture the drug? No. What is my right? My right is to prevent third parties who do not have my consent from. These are the few things I can stop him. What are the things? Act of making. I can stop him from making, using, offering for sale, selling, or importing for those purposes that product in India. So please remember this: making, using, offering for sale, selling, and importing. These are the things I cannot do. Other than this, I can do, and patentee cannot stop me. Okay. If it is a process patent, so this is the product patent. If it is a process patent, then patentee has exclusive right to prevent third parties who do not have consent from act of using the process, or from act of using, offering for sale, selling, or importing product obtained directly by the process in India. Okay. Now my question to you is as follows. Consider a scenario that company A, okay, company A has filed a process patent in India. So they have filed a process of making a cobalt catalyst. Okay. Now, what I am doing that I am manufacturing the cobalt catalyst in US. There is no US patent, so I am manufacturing the cobalt catalyst in US exactly as the process is given in the patent in India. Now, can I obtain product made from that cobalt catalyst in India? Can I import in India? I am not making in India.
No.
No.
Why?
According to section 48(1)(a), selling or importing for those purposes that product in India.
No, actually, it is from section 48(1)(b). Okay. If it is a process patent and the product,
Okay, yes.
product is obtained directly by the process, okay, I cannot import such product in India. Although the product was not made in India, the product was made outside India, but such product I cannot import in India. Clear now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And if the question is, what are the rights of patentee? Then what will you write? Can anyone tell? If the question comes in paper 2, what are the rights of patentee? then what you are going to write?
Sir, section 48, rights of patentee. Patentee has exclusive right to prevent third parties who do not have his consent from act of making, using, offering for sale, selling, or importing for those purposes that product in India. And B, for process patent, exclusive right to prevent third parties who do not have his consent from act of using that process and from act of using, offering for sale, selling, or importing product obtained directly by the process in India.
Correct. So you need to write this entire things. Okay. And again, there could be some question in paper 1 where they say patentee has exclusive right to prevent third party from act of making A, B from act of using, C offering for sale, D for selling, and E for this all this line given. So what will be your answer? Your answer will be where all this everything is mentioned, right? Okay.
Yes.
He has a right for everything. He can stop making, using, offering for sale, selling, or importing. Everything. He has a right for everything. He can stop all these activities. Patentee do not have a right to do all these things for himself, but he can prevent others from doing this. Okay, na?
Yes.
Section 49. So 49 says the patent right not infringed when used on foreign vessels temporarily or accidentally in India. Okay, section 49. So many questions are asked here also. So in summary, section 49 says that if my patent is for the purpose of being used in the vessel or machinery or anything directly on the body of the vessels or aircraft, okay, means aircraft manufactured by my patented process, or tire or the wings or any machine is manufactured by my patented process, or and that is coming in India, then that is not infringe my right. Okay, so the what is patented right? Patented right, what is when it is infringed? Infringe means if anyone is doing act of making, using, offering for sale, selling, or importing. So when it comes for using, okay, so an aircraft which has a wheels, which was which is protected by my patent, for example, and that aircraft comes in India, it lands in India, okay, then will it be a case of infringement or not? My question to you. I have a patent on aircraft wheels, and that wheels is that aircraft comes in India for temporary landing only. Then using of that wheels in aircraft, will it be an infringement of my rights or not?
It's not infringement.
Not
No.
Correct. So this is not infringement. Okay. Section 49. But there is a clause. What it clause says that this is applicable for only those countries which reciprocate same kind of right for us. Okay, clear? If there is a country which consider this temporary or accidental visit of this aircraft as an infringement, then if their flight comes to our land, then we will also sue them and we will also file infringement case to them. But if that country respects our right, then we also respect them also. So that is the condition. Okay, clear, na? Any doubt on this?
No.
No, sir.
Very simple. So if they follow the same respect for our rights, means if my vehicle manufactured by their process temporarily or accidentally lands up in their land, they will not sue me. Okay, they will not go to file case against me. Then we will also respect their citizens when they came to India for temporary or only the case is that that patent should be used in the body of vessel or machinery, tackle, apparatus, or other accessories. Invention used on board the vessels for its actual need and need only, or construction of working aircraft or land vehicles or accessories. It is not like I'm using a pen, okay? That pen is protected, means there's a patent file in India. I have filed a patent in India, and someone who is sitting in the aircraft, okay, he's having the pen, and he comes in India and signs the autographs. Will that be infringement or not? My question to you. Do you understand my question?
Yes.
My question, let me repeat again question. My question is, I have a patent on a pen in India. Okay. Now a person like he has not taken the pen from me or my permission, but he's using that pen. He comes to India temporarily. His flight goes by Delhi. He lands in Delhi and he gives autograph. He uses his pen in India. Can I file case against him that he has used his infringed my right or not?
No, you cannot.
No, we can file. And this is that was a trick.
How it is?
See,
Again, it is for temporary, right? As you mentioned.
No. This section 49 is only applies if the invention is used in the body of the aircraft.
Oh, okay.
Okay, means aircraft is manufactured by this process, or the aircraft vehicle or land vehicle or the water vehicle, whatever is there, it is that invention is used there. But this pen is not the part of the vehicle, right? It is not the part of the aircraft. Okay. Therefore, although this person came to India having this pen and uses for signing in India, I can file a case against him that he has infringed. Is it clear to everyone? Any doubt?
Yes.
Clear, no?
Yes.
See, I'm giving some examples so that it becomes more clear to you. Okay. Now,
sir,
yes.
other than aircraft, if he uses anything else, then it can be infringement can be filed.
It is for vessels, means water vessels, ships, aircraft, or land vehicles. All these things are covered.
Okay, so in case of any kind of mobile phone or anything else, infringement can be filed, right?
Yes, correct. For example, someone from Bangladesh or someone from Pakistan or Afghanistan, because we are sharing the border. Okay, he comes with a mobile phone or a pen or anything other, then that will be considered infringement. But if they come by vehicles for a temporary, not permanent resident, they are not for the permanent, coming here for permanently or for a very long period, they are coming here just for temporarily. Now, temporarily, how it is defined? For 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, that I have no idea. That will depend on some cases or anything, but it says the temporary. So if it is temporarily, then for example, if he comes for a meeting, and that meeting is going for say 1 week, and then he goes back. So I think that will also be considered temporarily, right?
Yes.
So that using of that vehicle, of that car, okay, which has some patented parts, car having the patented parts, will not be any infringement if it comes here. Clear now, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Section 51, rights of co-owners of patents. Okay. So very simple, and it is very, very, you will also understand very easily. Only thing that we need to just remember it, all inventors has equal undivided share in patent. If there is no agreement on sale or patent, if there is no agreement that exists, then all the inventor is equal share. Okay. An inventor can exercise right conferred to patentee by section 48 for his own benefit without accounting to other person or persons in absence of any agreement. So if I have two inventors, myself and my friend, then I did not ask my friend for exercising my right. Means if I see some infringement, I can file the court case myself only. I did not ask for his permission that should you file infringement or not. I can do it myself because that is my right. License for patent or assignment of rights with consent of others of other person or persons. License for patent or assignment of rights with consent of other persons or brother. Section 51(3). What it says, let me read it. Before giving any direction, before giving any direction in pursuance of application under this section, the controller shall, what is this? The right of co-owner of patent. Na? Wait. Okay. So section 49. Okay, this is section 50. Okay, see there's a mistake. So this is section 50, rights of co-owners patent, and section 3 is subject to the provision contained in this section and section 51 and to any agreement for the time being in force where two or more persons are registered as granted proprietors of the patent, then license under the patent shall not be granted and certain patents shall not be assigned to one of the such person except with the consent of other person or persons. Okay, so it's a mistake. So this is what I can do. This is 50. Okay, so this is a mistake. So this is 50. So section 50, rights of co-owner patents. Okay, so what it says that they have equal rights, but if you want to license the patent or assign the rights, then you need to take consent from others. Clear? Is it clear? Section 2 and 3.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Means if you want to stop someone, okay, if someone is using, selling, or offering to sell or importing, if you want to stop them or send notice, then you need not take permission from your co-assignee. But if you want to license to someone or if you want to grant the right to someone, then you must take consent from other persons. If patented article is sold by one person, the purchaser has right as if sold by sole patentee. Okay. If there are two or more patentee are there and they are manufacturing some articles, and if it is being sold by one person, then it will be considered that it has been sold. Others cannot say that why did you sold, and purchaser will others cannot go to purchaser saying that you have not taken my consent. Okay, if one person sells, then it will be considered sold patentee. Rules of law, ownership and devolution of movable property is applied to patent rights. So you are lawyers, you better understand what are the rules of law of ownership and devolution. And right of partial interest of assigning the patent created before commencement of this act is not affected. So if there is a rights of patent interest of assigning in patent created before commencement of this act is not affected. So if there is any agreement on the partial interest, then that is not affected. That will continue as it is. So in summary, what we say for 51, sorry, section 50, rights of co-ownership patent is that they all inventors have equal undivided share in patent, and inventor can exercise their right. That means they can stop anyone from selling. But if you want to license it, means if there is some money involved, licensing agreement, then you need to take consent from all the inventors. And if there is a product being sold in the market, suppose myself and other friends are there on a patent, and they are not interested in manufacturing, and I am manufacturing without infringing any patent. Then if I am selling the product and you purchase the product, then my friends cannot come and say to you that why did you infringing my patent? You have not taken my permission from me. So that cannot be there. So they can sell the product. Okay. And last two sections, 51 and then 52 and 53. Okay. So power of controller to give directions to co-owners. Okay. So if the case is as such, okay, that there are certain activities that need to perform, but other partner is not ready. So the controller can give direction if application made in by any of the patentee for, like sale, lease of patent, any interest, grant a license under patent, or exercise any right under section 50. So section 50 we just read just now before. So there are certain things, and then if others are not applying, meaning say for example you want to license the patent, okay, and then you are asking for the consent of others, but they are not giving their consent, they are not replying to you, and according to section 50, according to section 50 and 53, license of patent assignment of rights with consent of other person only. So you need the consent, but they are not giving the consent. For example, you want to license a patent, but your friend, your co-assignee, they are not giving consent. Then what to do? If you do it without their consent, then that is not proper. So you can approach controller. And if you want to approach controller, what you need to do? You need to fill form 11 according to rule 76 and give a notice to all your friends. I mean all the assignee or patentee or the guy or who is there, and then there's a fee, okay, and then controller will give directions, okay. If a registered person fails to execute any act as mentioned in this section after being given in writing in 14 days, the person may approach controller and controller will empower him to perform the act. And for example, if there are certain acts that need to be done and everyone consent is required and they are not ready to act, and you need to act yourself only, so that also can be done, and within 14 days you can fill the form 11 and then fee is the same, and then the controller will take the action and empower you to perform the act. At that time you need not take consent from others. Okay. So this scenario always arises where you have more than one inventors, more than one person in a patent, and they are not listening to you, they are not participating, or they are not aligning with you, they are not giving their consent. So if that is the case, then this process works. And what is the procedures? That is the same as you discussed. Grant of post-grant oppositions, rule 55A, then 57 to 63. This same applies. Okay. And then if you go to 52, grant of patent to a first inventor where it has been obtained by another in fraud of him. Okay. So after the patent is granted, okay, so under section 64, we will read later on this. If the patent is revoked, on wrongful obtainment. Okay. So do you remember there is another section that we read before, that after post grant opposition also, after post grant opposition before 12 months also, if it is a case of wrongful obtainment, there is some process. Can anyone tell which was that section? We read today only.
25(1), wrongful obtainment.
25(1) is the pre-grant opposition. I'm asking that
Yes.
which is the section which deals like if in the post-grant oppositions, if it was found
Okay.
that the patent was wrongfully obtained, then what are the steps taken? It is mentioned in which section? It is section 28.
25. Sorry.
28. Mention of inventor
Mention of
as such in patent.
such as in patent.
Correct, right? Section 28. Okay. In section 28, it says that if it was established that the patent was wrongfully obtained, correct? Okay. And section 26. In case of obtaining, controller may treat the patent as the patent of opponent.
Yes, sir.
Section 26, right?
26.
Yes, 26.
Now it's clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Then we read na unity field form 12. Okay. And then within 3 months, okay, you need to apply. Correct? Now here another case is like if under section 64. So for example, the patent was wrongfully obtained. Okay. And then you failed to apply for post grant opposition within 12 months. Then what would you do? My question to you. Then you need to approach for revocation under section 64. Under section 64, it is revoked under wrongful obtainment, and then this section 52 applies here now again. So if the patent has been revoked under section 64 on wrongful obtainment, okay, and that has been established, then directs the company to be amended by excluding that portion wrongfully obtained. So here again also you have two scenario. One scenario like entire application was wrongfully obtained. Okay. So did you understand when this section 26 and section 52 applies? Anyone can tell difference? Section 26 and section 52, they are reading on the same wrongful obtainment only. So section 56 is like you went for section 26, sorry. Section 26 is like you went for post grant opposition within 12 months of the patent is granted, and then patent was revoked based on the wrongful obtainment of the patent. Okay, then this section 26 applies. Okay, but for example, there is a patent which was wrongfully obtained from you, but you failed to file post grant opposition before 12 months, and 12 months has already passed. Then you need to go for section 64 revocation of patent, and then if the patent is revoked, then this is the process that section 52 comes in picture. Is it clear to everyone now?
Yes.
Clear, na? So there are two scenarios, section 26 and section 52. Section 26 is for post grant opposition. You went for section post grant oppositions, and then it was revoked for wrongful obtainment. And section 52 comes in picture when after 12 months of grant, you went for revocation, and then it has proved that wrongful obtainment was there, and then this section 52 comes. Okay. So again here two scenarios. One is like the patent, okay, the patent, complete patent was wrongfully obtained, or some portion was wrongfully obtained. So if complete patent is there, then entire patent will be in your name. If some part is there, then only that part will be excluded and you can file. So what are the conditions? Let us read. So it says, when such order is passed, the controller shall on request of petitioner grant a new patent bearing the same date and the number as the patent revoked, when whole patent is revoked. Okay. So if the entire patent is revoked, so ऐसा लगता है कि the entire patent that was filed was just taken from your desk and was filed wrongfully, entire application, all the claims, everything. In that case, similarly, their name will be deleted and your name will be inserted, entire patent. For a part only, the patent to be granted, a new patent bearing same date as a patent revoked, and the number may be prescribed. Okay. So if, say for example, cobalt and nickel catalyst, I'll just give you an example. So cobalt and nickel catalyst both are wrongfully obtained, the entire patent is yours. If your part is only cobalt catalyst, then you can file a new patent on cobalt catalyst after this everything happens. Means you file, then it is revoked, then government passes, the High Court passes the judgment, and then it is done. Then you can proceed. Okay. And then the new number is date is same date as the at filing of that patent, and the new number is given as per section 37, and petitioner need to file a new complaint application describing the claiming that part, and for that you need to file new patent, new application. No suit shall be brought for any infringement committed before the actual date on which such patent was granted. Okay, but say for example cobalt catalyst and nickel catalyst, and you say that nickel part was wrongfully obtained. Okay, so a patent was filed in January 1st, 2019, and then after 3 years, say it got granted. Then another 1 year has passed, almost 4 years have passed. After 1 year, you did not file for post-grant oppositions. Then after 4 years, after 5 years, okay, you went and filed for revocation under wrongful obtainment. That you can do. Then after 5 years, then you within 3 months of the judgment took another 1 year. So already 7 years has passed. 7 years has passed in all this process. After 7 years, within 3 months, you file a new patent. What will be the date of that patent? The date will be 7 years back, means when this application is filed. So this is written here. Okay, back. And what is the process? And if there is any infringement on, and then again after 7 years, 3 months, you file patent, and it took another 2 years or 3 years for grant. Okay, then already 10 years has passed. So anyone who was infringing on your patent for all these years, for 10 years, you cannot sue them for any infringement committed before the grant of this patent. Is it clear or very complicated? Is it clear to everyone?
It's just a little bit complicated.
Okay, let me tell. So for example, this is the patent file, which was, I will say, RO, I will just write some sentence, wrongfully obtained. Okay. Now, this patent is granted. So after 2 years, this patent gets granted here. Another 1 year has passed. So you did not file any post-grant oppositions. So this is there. Can you see my pen now? I'm writing here.
Yes.
Yes.
You can see, right?
Yes.
So if we had filed post-grant application, then section 26 would have applied. Okay, but you did not file post-grant application. Another, say, 2 years has passed. Now here you went for revocation under section 64. Okay, and you say wrongfully obtained. Wrongfully obtained. Okay, then in the court case, say it took another 1 year, and the judgment was passed here. Then within 3 months, from the date of order or appellate board or court, you need to file Form 12 under sections Rule 79, pay this fees 24 for nature or 12 for others, and then you will be allowed to file a new patent. Then you applied for this patent here within 3 months. Within 3 months, then you file a patent here. Okay, you applied and then you file. So you applied for a patent, and then and your patent gets granted here. Okay, say after again 2 years. Now you see 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. What is the date of this patent? Means when this patent will be considered to be filed. This date is this one. When this patent is filed. So you don't lose any priority date here. So this is this date will consider. So what it says, a new patent bearing the same date as patent revoked. Same date as patent revoked is given, and this is the date. Okay, but what is the problem? any infringement that happened within this 7-year period, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6, again plus 2, 8 years almost, 7 to 8 years, this will not be counted as infringement. Only after you grant, it will count as infringement. If it continues, then infringement. Now, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, in this case, the life of this patent will be only approximately 12 years.
20.
12 years from because wrongful after the grant I'm talking about, like it will be only left with 12 years.
No.
Okay,
Because
so
7-8 years from the date of that wrongful obtainment,
yeah,
all
see,
those 7-8 years.
yeah, this date is given. This date, this filing date is given. So priority date will be considered from here. With this priority date will be from this priority date.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but the life of patent is considered from the date of filing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will have to check whether for any other purposes this date will be considered, but for the life of patent they will consider the filing date of this or filing date of this. I'm not much clear. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So as per section 52, what do we discuss? Is it clear now with this diagram and everything? Any question?
One query.
Yes.
See, after revocation, because of this wrongful obtainment, if it is whole patent is revoked, so in that case, again, what is this grant? That I'm not getting.
Or what? Come again?
See, once the revocation happens, the 64 section, under 64 section, because of this wrongful obtainment, the whole patent has been revoked.
Okay.
So after that, that 1 year and what is that next? I'm not getting that.
Okay.
What is the again the grant?
Okay. Okay. So what I mean say that 64 wrongful obtainment is done. So means you file this. So this 1 year it may go for the court cases, right? I'm just counting this. And the judgment is passed here.
Okay. So what is the judgment is passed here? When judgment is passed here means what? Is it the revocation has approved?
Correct. Correct. Yes. Okay. So judgment or revocation comes here. Okay. You applied means you applied here. You applied here means after 2 years you applied. Okay. You applied for under 64 wrongful obtainment. You applied here, and then it took another 1 year or say some time for judgment to come in the court. Okay. And then after this judgment has come, they will give you 3 months time period to file this. Within 3 months you need to file this, and then if it is the entire patent is revoked, means entire patent was wrongfully obtained, then you will get the same patent in your name, in same date and same everything will be same. But if only part is there, okay, if only part is there, one part is there, then you will be asked to file a new application for the patent. Okay, and everything else will follow for the application, means examination, then grant, then FER, all this thing will follow. Only the date of filing will be considered as a date of filing of this patent.
Okay, got it. So this is in case of partly, if it is partly revoked.
Partly, yes.
Got it.
Okay, so this is the last one. Then we will finish. Section 53, term of patent. Term of patent is 20 years from the date of filing application. Okay. For PCT, it is from 20 years from the international filing date. It is not the filing date in India. Okay. Patent cease to effect if renewal fee is not paid. Clear? On expiry of term of patent or not paying renewal fee, subject matter is not protected by patent. So this is clear. 53, 1 to 3. Again, in Rule 80, renewal fees under Section 53. Renewal fees from second year from date of patent or any succeeding year before expiry date. fee payment can be extended 6 months if request is made in Form 4, and then there is a fee for 480 for nature and 2400 for others. Okay, so this is a very short one. Form 4, yes. So it is 4800 under section 53(2). So renewal fee, if you want to extend the date by 6 months, so you follow form fee and then 4800 and then 2400, as the case may be. So that's all. So any question till now? So we'll wind up now here.